So I'm currently in the parking lot of Target on the way home from picking up this 2011 Mini Cooper S. I don't have a ton of experience with the R56 Minis, but I have plenty of experience with the R53s. I've always kind of stayed away from these because of the known problems with the motor. But this happens to be an N18 car, not an N14. So the motor's got a lot of the little quirks fixed. As you can see, there's parts just hanging off here, one of which being the turbo, the oil feed. There's a giant hole in the valve cover. It's got no headlights. We got some duct tape at the back of the engine bay. Overall, under the hood is a mess. Going by the story of the previous owner, he had stated that this car was a daily driver for him. He had an exhaust leak. When he tried to track that down, he thought it was something to do with the seal on the turbo and wanted to replace that. So decided to start tearing into it. Was trying to hit the turbo with a hammer, slipped, went through the valve cover. I don't know what's going on with the headlights. They're broken in a million pieces, but I got those too. It looked like there was some sort of cold air back here where the duct tape was, and this is kind of just all floating in here right now. So in terms of parts, I've noticed a few cool things. They have these NM engineering parts on the car. There's down here, I noticed there's a Forge intercooler, which is pretty sweet. Looking around the car a little bit further, I've noticed there's some stainless steel, it looks like ECS tuning brake lines, slotted rotors, no big deal. But there's also an NM engineering sway bar, some springs. But overall, the body of this car is really clean, and that's kind of what I'm happy about. Going inside, it's all carbon fiber and wood grain. I'm not sure if the car came factory like this or a lot of this was upgraded. As you can see, it's just kind of littered with parts that I guess were on the car and might have been taken off to do some work. There's a scan gauge up on the dash, some gauges, a BMW scan tool, some more parts that the previous owner had kind of squirreled away. It's got, I think, the factory exhaust on it right now. I think this is more parts of that cold air intake that might have went up into the cowl. I'll look at that a little bit later. But overall, it's a really, really nice looking Mini. I don't know what I'm getting into. So I guess we'll figure that out sometime soon. Overall, it's a $1,000 car. I'm happy with it, and the fact that I think I can probably get that back out of it at parts. But I think I'm going to dig into this thing and try to make it a nice daily driver. If not, and it needs some more work, maybe turn it into a rally car. Kind of on the fence. We do need something to rally. It's something I wanted to do this coming season. But I think this is just a little too clean. I'm not sure I want to mess with it. So I might just turn it into a daily. There's a bunch of parts that I have floating around for this car too that are in the trunk of the Yukon. But so far, super excited. I guess we'll see what happens.